Hello everyone, welcome to another Planet Coaster livestream. We are once again here in Farley Park, just taking a look out over Shipwrecked, here by this dock that's part of the theming. You can actually get fairly close to the ride from here. Oh, there it goes again. A lot of fun to watch that one. Anyway, so I think we'll go over and just change the stream. Okay, so I think first we'll go over kind of some of the main changes since the last stream. We'll start with the Steampunk Land, just a bit more work on the entrance really. Yeah, this is coming together quite nicely now. And just kind of a few other things around, mostly planning buildings and stuff. Have started work on some of the queue line though. We've got this cool section here, which looks out over the first drop. I think I have got the whole queue line in now. I did want to bring it over this way, but I just couldn't fit it around that way. So instead it comes up round this way, and there's like a big cattle pen in a second level here. I think that's added a pretty decent amount of queue. I did test it, and it's about 2 hours with the fast track queue full, so not too bad. I also started work on this, which is going to be like lots of cattle pen queues. Got to figure out how I want to do the roof arch, probably with more of these, which you can see back there. So that's going underneath there. It'd be really cool to have like loads of pipes and stuff, and loads of detail on the walls in here. Wow, cameras going everywhere, and also kind of all this mess here, all the various different walls and archways to get it all working, because there's going to be a lot of kind of cut through points here where they can extend the queue if needed. So let's move on now to the Viking area. I've done quite a bit more work on the rapids. I cannot remember if this bridge was in the last stream. Maybe that's what we built in the last stream. I haven't watched it back. But I've done some more work here on this bridge, putting this cool wooden trim all the way around, all the way down to the ground here. I've realised that sadly the ride is not wheelchair accessible unless you manage to fit a lift in here, which just I don't think it's not possible. But I don't think rapids rides are wheelchair accessible. Let me just check. I've been watching a lot of videos about rapids and POVs of them as well, so yeah. Let's have a look. Right, so at Alton Towers, yes, you can ride the Congaree Rapids with a wheelchair. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with this here. In my timeline, this is going to be a very, very old ride. Because, yeah, I mean, there's stairs everywhere. We'll definitely be able to have a lift access to the wooden coaster, though. In fact, if I just look, we have wheelchair access to the Phantom, to this one. This, yes, this, yes. I think most of the rides are wheelchair accessible. The log flume here is definitely. So I think it's going to have to be just the old Rapids ride that isn't. Apart from that, I think everything else is fully wheelchair accessible. I imagine for Oasis you just go up the exit pathway. Okay, yeah, I think we'll just have to say that sadly the Rapids is not a wheelchair accessible ride. So yeah, at some points like here I need the only way it would work is stairs, so yeah, it's gonna have to be like that. Oh well. The other thing we have to think about is a water treatment plant, which I think I'm gonna try and squeeze in right here. I could shorten this little part here so it doesn't have this final turn. That would give us a bit more space. I think we're going to do that. So make another modification to our Rapids layout. Just going to smooth this to be like that, I think. I think what we'll do is try and make it more exciting, as we'll make this section here rapids as well. We have our lifeguard point here, who'd be able to see all the way down there. Which maybe that one will be normal, the rest will be rapids. Exciting. See here they kind of spin quite a bit more on the rapid sections. Right, test. And so that gives us quite a bit more space actually to put our water treatment plant. The other option is to have it around the back here, but I don't think it's a very good position for it. There's been loads more changes as well with the realism stuff. Added the trough of water going around the outside of the station here, kind of faked it with lots of effects. Go on autosave. They're getting quite bad now. It's quite nice to be working on the river rapids during these autosaves though, because you can tell when it's over when the water starts flowing again. There we go. I also had to kind of loads of splash effects to try and hide some of the gaps here. This would just be where they store the water. We'll probably have a building over this section where they could do some maintenance on it and stuff. That'd be kind of cool part of the theming. So yeah, still lots of work to do on this river rapids. I think we'll focus on that today. We'll try and finish the rock facade around the back here and figure out how we're going to hide, how can we maximise the space for our water treatment plant. The idea is basically to have the gap between the rock and the wall here as small as possible. So around the back here I've got like a be like an access point where they connect some of the mechanics for the lift hill. Also added some kind of more tubes and stuff, so at the end of the day the water level here would rise, and it's actually quite low just for that reason. So the water will kind of pull up at the bottom there, and then use these pumps to move the water back to the top of the ride and slowly flow all the way down in the morning. I think that's how it works. Oh, and then I forgot to also show off the operator's booth. Took me a while, very happy with it though. Yeah, I got the you will get soaked, wait here for a ride host, and of course dry ice available. Yeah, very happy with that, with like the rocks and stuff. Got the little bit of rope here, a little kind of hook so they can kind of stop people just there if they need to. And yeah, in Planet Coaster terms, this is all the queue path, so you will see people walking along there. I'm also going to have to fake inside here, going straight to the exit path. So yeah, all this is going to be hidden. We're going to do a cool kind of show scene with some effects and stuff that you kind of float. Actually, no, the boats will stop there for a bit. Right, so we'll do the rock work around the back here. Like that. So I've got to think kind of how, in fact, what we'll do to check this. So we'll go over here. We'll basically copy a bunch of these things. What else are we going to need to steal from here? I think everything else is kind of optional, so if we need to make sure we at least have these sections in, how much space is that going to need? So if we have, I also got to think about a car park here. Let me just blueprint all of these and we will start work on this. We'll have those right next to each other. We'll put these tanks. I think I'd want these in the corner. So maybe kind of there. The pipes would just go into the building, which is going to be like here or so. And then this big old generator can just go on the side there, I think. And finally I'll copy over all the stuff for the car park. It's going to be very small, just like this one. Oh, I used something interesting here. Hang on. Alright, and I'm back. Quickly go sort something out there. Right, so I seem to have used one of these. Interesting. And it will definitely not let me copy all of it. So it's a bunch of different buildings. So we'll take this. Yeah, this is quite big. And it doesn't help that it's not flat either. I think ideally we'd want it like that. I mean, really, I just need the, just need those really. So maybe I can do something like that. We will obviously paint this with our tarmac. Well, you're not going to see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Up to around there. This is all going to be walled off anyway. And now I've just got to grab the. Let's grab this. Bring it over here. Sink it down. We'll make some car park lines. Just duplicate that over like so. I forgot to duplicate the wheels. Alright, delete that. We're going to go grab the ones with the wheels this time. There we go. Now the problem is you can't really park in that slot. So I think what we're going to have to do is move this so that's everything we need. I basically have to get this into a position where you can park in all of the slots, and I think that's fine. I can actually probably move this here. Here's our fence. Turn off align to surface. So this has to run from around here. And that will end up into the wall. and then also from here. That's good, and that will also head into the wall, but I think for now that's pretty much where it needs to be. There was something else I was thinking of. What did I do in the other one? I had a small gate. Let me copy this over. So I do want a gate on this as well. I just don't know if... if we copy this over... would you be able to drive into that slot? Probably. I mean, I have no idea. Anyway, then this would have to be there. So we'll do that. Follows it pretty closely. What else did I do? This is the one I'm using for reference. I think I painted it actually with the concrete, so we'll do that. I'm also going to copy over the bin stuff as well as the little table. Do I want the bench? I'll think about that. I don't want to have a bin and the small table and chairs though. Just adds a little bit to everything. We'll put it here for now. I think we need to do the rock work though. Figure out where this building stuff is going. So this is the fun part. We just get a bunch of our alpine rocks and try and hide all of this from the ride. Oh, that's definitely quite close. I'm gonna have to move that one. But I think kind of here is where we're gonna have the edge of everything. Let's just actually open the ride, so they're not constantly going past every few seconds. Let's see. Really need to be using some of the smaller tall rocks. So we can do that. Well, I can take this actually and put it on top, and that will help with hiding everything. I can also take this, put it sideways like that. Nice, that doesn't jut out too far. You're on the ride. Definitely need something to fill in this gap as well. This I think will fit quite nicely. Like that. Round here there's going to be a challenge. Let's see, we'll start with some of these. We'll put in that, I think. Then use a little rock to cover up the gap. Nice. We'll then put this on top to help make it. Actually, I don't even think I need the small rock. I can just put that on top like that. And then we'll use this one again, I think. Like that. Put another small rock there. And then just try and build this up a bit. Maybe we can use another Jurassic rock. We can put another one here, I don't know. That looks pretty cool. Put another one there actually. And that is pretty nicely small. I do want to have like a big rock that's quite tall here. So I've got the space for it. Whereas it juts out a lot. Let's use this instead. That works better. We'll just hide the extra bit here, because that looks a bit strange. Nice. Okay. Now let's have a look at this part of the ride. Yeah, if anyone has handed any name suggestions for our Viking Rapids, just back them in the chat, and if I like the name, I will put it in. Actually, instead of that, we'll just do a really big Jurassic rock, I think. Nice. All this looks good, just got to get a small rock in here. I do kind of want the fence to also continue that way. So I want to put a bit more height on the cliff on this side. Okay, I think that is good for now. Let's now basically bring this around. Just get that perfectly angled. Very nice. Just need to delete that. Oh yeah, I forgot about the so that's gonna have to go to at least there. How? Okay, so we're not quite there yet. Painted wood. That's what we are got here. Nice. And then concrete, so we'll just use one of the smaller slabs. It's got to be at that height. Yep. Line it up. Very nice. And I think we'll just keep it at that height all the way around. We are, however, going to try and keep it as close as possible to the rocks. That I think isn't too bad. Let's just get this perfect. Nice. So only got to really move this a little bit to about there, and this one as well, just a tiny amount that way. Let's also sort out the painting, so we want to do concrete here instead. We'll just paint all this concrete for now. Cool. Now let's just sort this out. Like so. We'll of course do our line to surface, flip it round, get the right height. This is probably way too big. Yeah. So we'll use this one instead. Spin it round. And probably just keep copying it over because it seems to be the right distance. Nice. And from the ride, you can hardly see it. In fact, let's just hop onto the ride itself quickly. Not on this boat. This one. Oh yeah, you absolutely cannot see over that rock wall. Nice. Yeah, you're far too low down. Okay. That looks good for now. I don't think you can see over this one either, no. Cool. So I think now we're going to have to spin it a little bit to get it to fit. I am also going to have a service door from this side. Let's see, these need changing, but that should be pretty easy. You just spin them like so, pull them across. There we go. What I do want to do now is the little table. Can we put it around the back here? I think we probably can actually fit it there. Or actually, we'll put the table here. I'll put another couple of chairs in. Oh, that's not where our chair is supposed to go. Cool, and then I think we'll just put a bin round the back. Actually, because you wouldn't really be able to access that, would you? No. So we can just say there's like a bit of a pile up of rubbish. And we'll get some crates as well. I like these shipping crate ones. Just a couple of small things that almost look like they've been abandoned. We can also maybe put some newspaper piles in. Maybe a little pile of newspaper. Nice, now it looks more like a kind of forgotten corner. These, I think we can probably fit in the corner here. Yep. And I think I wanted to put a bench in as well. How did I get the bench to not be on a pathway here? Ah, it's a TMDK piece. Nice. We'll also put a nice bench, I think just here. There we go. I need to put some lights in as well. Let's head back this way, grab a light. Go nighttime. Turn off a line to surface. Put one there to cover that. We can have one here. I think we only probably need another one like there. Actually, we need one to cover the bins. Have one there then. Yeah, we can then have one more that just covers up the last section in the corner of the car park there. Nice, and it doesn't spill at all. Brilliant. Okay. From down here it looks quite cool. You can see all like the rock work above the building. I need to add the service door, that's right. I'll just use a plain Planet Coaster door. Okay. Oh, actually, is that the best place to put one? Not really going to be able to access it, which defeats the whole purpose of an access door. Unless there's a way we can kind of shuffle everything around a bit. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the next one of these, which I want to put here. What we'll do is we'll have the pipes there. We'll have this go like that. Now we can modify where the pipes are, so you know where the building's going to be. We're going to have them as close as possible to each other. And also, like that, we can delete these two. We'll also duplicate and put two more right here. There's a lot of water going into this ride. We need lots of pipes available. This tank is going to have to move. So fine, it's getting quite cozy in there now. See, we'll have some more around here, I think. Should be able to fit a third set. Yep. Cool, and then we'll put the service door on here. I'll have some more, like loads more pipes around the back there. Planet Coaster door. There we go. Right there. Nice. Now the question is, do we want to have the wall here sloping down? Because it is now quite high compared to the ride. And I think that's going to be a yes. So I think we'll have it initially slope down here. In fact, those can probably be flat. Yeah, we just need to have a slope one here. Painted wood. Ah, this changes how this wall is going to have to be placed then. How do I do it here? I just kind of... Okay, I'll just let it clip. Not that badly though. I think we'll put it around there. We'll do that like that. This like so. This just needs to move back a bit. These sets of pipes also just need a small tweak. There we go. Cool. Right, now let's do more concrete. I think this one will work the best. Get it up to the right level. In far enough, and then bring it across like so. That then just has to slope down. Now I just have to do the very slow process of figuring out the right angles here, which I think is just going to be that actually. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. And then yeah, I think we're just going to copy it across. Just like that. And this also needs just to fill in that small gap there. Let's just quickly raise this up a little bit. Now that meets perfectly. Amazing. And yeah, from here though, we're gonna have a big fence, it'll be fine. Yeah, if you can imagine this kind of stockade fencing. Oh, that's very badly placed. This is just very rough though. If you can imagine that, yeah, you can't see the roof. Besides, even it's like a little break in the immersion. Let's just go back to finishing this off. So we'll just keep placing our fencing. Then I think we'll just have this be the last one, and it will just attach to the building like so. Don't know what's going to be on the other side yet. I think if I just check the lighting, it's like that corner's not really being touched, it's fine. I think we're all good. The last thing I want to, oh, we've got an autosave. I just want to add a bit of overgrown plants to the area. But we've got to wait for this autosave to finish up. Down to 1 FPS now. There we go. That is not the right bush. This is the one I'm looking for. I think we'll just kind of add it in the areas where they wouldn't really be walking around much. Just mostly just these. Cool, we can add a little bit of this as well. Almost like that little corner there's just become a bit of a rubbish dump. I think we'll put a little bit around the back of this bin as well. Obviously this side isn't finished yet, but I think that works. Yeah, obviously got the Scarlet warehouse on the other side. I think just from this angle, it's kind of, that's what it's going to look like. Finished, right? There we go. And yet you can't see it from on the ride at all, which is brilliant. For now, you can see it from up on the path, but we're going to cover that all up with fencing. Right, let's keep going with the rock work. I think we'll try and get it to around here or so. Let's just place a rock down to mark that. Yeah, the goal is to get to that rock. So that's clipping. So I can't have it clip at all now. I can't have it clip into the concrete. So it's still not quite high enough. So maybe we add some of these. No. Could we add one of these just kind of sneaking in the back there? Yeah, but it's clipping like crazy, so I think we're going to have to go with one of these. Oh, we've still got clipping issues. Let's see, that's as close as I can do it. That works fine. Which rock is clipping through here? Is it this one? No, oh, I've not added any of these to our scenery group. Ah, it must be this one. Let's It's going to have to be like so to not clip. And now it's clipping here. Maybe if I spin it. And then just ever so slightly do that. No, I don't think that's going to work at all. Maybe we could use one of these. That doesn't clip. We could have it connect to a bigger one up here. Yep, that works. Can I fit one of the large ones here? Only sideways, I think. Oh, that's clipping. And yeah, the wall has to... Oh, how am I going to get the wall around this bench? I can move the bench. It's not in a great spot, is it? We could put the bench down here and then move the rubbish somewhere else. So ideally I'd like to just copy this over. Yeah, look, now there's just not enough room. And then here we then spin it around again. So maybe what we can do is we can, oh, not the whole thing. We can move the generator to be like here. We can then move this to kind of just be off in the corner, a forgotten corner, and then I can move this to just be right there. Yeah, that works. So we've got a little pathway along the side, and that gives us a bit more space to work on this. Just want to make sure I've got just the rock work selected. Let's deselect these buildings and the ride. Nothing else selected. Great. Right, let's sort this out. We are going to have to put something here just to help block a little bit more of that roof. That works fine. Brilliant. We'll put that there. Oh, not quite. It's going to have to be there. Might have to spin it a bit. Lovely. We've got a bit more space around here so I can use some of the wider rocks. Sad, I think this is just going to be too big to fit. Yep. This one might be as well. Okay, so I can't use the wider rocks. Great. That limits the options now. If we do that, what can I use to raise this up? It's going to have to be this one a few times, isn't it? Maybe one of these in between. Just like so. That works, and I think that's high enough. Oh, apart from just here. So I'll place this rock. That's fine. And now that hides everything. I think also here, yeah, it's still tall enough. I think also I can actually fit a big Jurassic rock in here now. like that. No. Can I fit a small one? I want to fit the big one. Let's try and get that to fit. It's going to have to be like there. That works. Don't think this is going to fit. Nope. It's like almost tall enough. That works. And I think it does a good job of hiding everything. Now we've just got to wait for a boat. Oh yeah, definitely tall enough. Amazing. So let's just sort out the concrete. Actually, this might be a bit of a challenge because there's not much space between the wall and the concrete. The wall and the rocks is what I meant to say there. That is fine. Now this here, what we're going to do. So we're going to line this up. Absolutely perfectly. And then we are going to just use the wall to easily duplicate that over. Doesn't clip in at all. One more to do. And it has to go around there. So I'm going to have to cover that section up, but that should be fairly easy. In fact, I can probably do it right now. With just one of these. I mean, yeah, look, done. I like how you're going to see all the trees around in the background. That's going to be cool. But that is that all finished. Obviously got to add some kind of Viking details and stuff. You know, from here, I think it looks pretty cool. You can imagine with all the rocks and the bridge done from the other side, it's all going to look lovely. And we'll just move this around a bit. And yeah, this will basically just come around and probably meet it at some point around there. We'll have to do that when I finish the rest of it. Have I got more space for some pipes? I think I do actually. So we will add some more pipes. I think maybe here. And also in the corner here. Obviously with so much water in this ride, this plant will be working a lot. So having lots of pipes would be very useful for that. Yeah, I think we have ourselves a nice water treatment plant, which is not visible from the ride. Very nice. I think the way it's going to pan out is that basically it's basically a building with a big rock facade that goes, if we start here, it goes all the way around, up by the side of the lift hill, probably then under the lift hill, but it goes to the roof of the building basically. Round here, so all of this probably has some inner stuff. Comes round this way, probably under here, avoiding, or actually could it go underneath the rotating station? Maybe we could have the rotating station on top and then all the mechanisms of that inside the building. Comes around this way. underneath the track again here, then connects up there. So basically all of this here is like one gigantic building underneath it. I think that'd be quite... I'd actually get to work. I'd love to go kind of underneath a river rapid station and see what it's all like down there. Love to see how it all works. Yeah, here it's just a big slab of Planet Coaster terrain. Let's see, let's do some of the rope stuff that I was talking about. So I basically think we can have it split off from here. Oh lovely, we've got a cool, we'll have it kind of come up this way. There's a line, I've got a line to service on, haven't I? Yep. Oh, I've got a gap in the rockwork here. Let's just grab ourselves a nice rock. Fill that in. Nice. Cool, I don't think we have to extend any of the posts. Nope. And yeah, around here it's just all kind of rock. Could we have some water effects maybe? That like maintained from inside the building. That's what I tried to do. So, for example, we got the water. What's it called? Is it the a water kind of? It's like a big fountain, but kind of straight down. A waterfall effect that kind of turns off right as the boat gets to it. You pass through, you don't get soaked, and then it turns on again. Obviously got some of the water fountains here, got the waterfalls. What we don't have is fountains kind of going over the riders. Let's just hop in here, grab some of these. There's 40 of them. Just do a line to surface. Problem is, this is the small one. Probably need the large one to get a proper effect here. If you've been on oh no, that is not what I want whatsoever. Water jet large. Yes. Now we just have to adjust the angle of it. Maybe medium will work better here. No, it's not quite reaching across. If you've been on Bubbleworks, or what's now Gruffalo at Chessington, you'll know about the really cool water tunnel effect they have on there. Now, why does it say that there's no... Oh, it's those as well, okay. Now, the boats do pass under this perfectly. Make sure I get the same heights. So about here, I think. Very nice. And it all kind of splashes down onto these rocks. In fact, what we need to do is we need to I think build up like a kind of small rock wall where the water kind of wouldn't pass by, which would then force it to flow the other way. I think we'll put one more in just there. Nice. So the water will all just spill back into the trough. That's a nice effect. What I am going to do though is I basically want to put one where each jet emerges. So it's like a little... It's like you can actually see the emitter. Actually, no, that's too much work. And I'm back. Just had to deal with something else. So we put in the water effect here, which I think looks really cool. I don't think it soaks you. Maybe if you're unlucky, there'll be a few water droplets that hit you. I think that kind of makes sense there. Yeah, and yeah, the water will just fall back into the trough. Okay, I think actually I should have just ended the stream there because I think we've done a pretty nice amount of stuff today. Basically got that water treatment plant sorted, kind of got this corner of the ride done. Actually means now we've got a fairly solid section here all done now. There's really only this part here I can't do because I need to figure out what the buildings are all going to look like. This stuff is all kind of singular structures. Yeah, I think hopefully we'll kind of start moving kind of this way, try and kind of get these buildings done and hook the station up to everything else. Might do this part here first, it's kind of more just the rock work. But yeah, it's coming along very nicely. I'm just thinking piece count wise, what are we at now for the Viking area? We just deselect everything that's not part of this Viking land. Because no, this fence is not Viking. Neither is any of this. I think everything else I've selected there is... oh no, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. And all of this. Okay, we are at 2,902 pieces so far for our Viking area. How does that compare to the steampunk land? This was much harder to get a accurate count on. Just deselect all of this stuff. None of this is steampunk. Oh, not on autosave now. Terrible timing. And that one wasn't too bad. Quite worried about in the future how bad are these autosaves going to get. None of this is steampunk. None of that is steampunk. Man, I've selected like half the adventure area here. So none of this is steampunk either. Finally, just get rid of a few more bits around there. Oh, and this. $4,200 pieces for the steampunk area so far. 1,165, just had to remove the HQ building. Whereas I forgot in my roundup at the start that I've also done the trees around here between the steampunk maintenance and the split in the thing. It does say Skyride. It will be updated to say the name of the RMC. Anyway, I think we're going to leave it there. Let's find a nice viewpoint. I need a staff member first. Where have all the staff gone? Here's one. I wish we were in Planet Coaster 2 could have like little gaps in the oh my word, what's happened here? That is going to be a nightmare to deal with. But I don't think I have a choice, sadly. So I'll have to figure that out. Problem for future me. In fact, let's head up to the part we worked on today. Can I kind of... no, I can't somehow get over there. How can I get onto the track from here? Like this. Here we go. Let's do... that looks pretty cool. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye.